Welcome back. The division algorithm. Let a be an integer and d be a positive integer. Then there are unique integers q and r with r between 0 and d. Notice r could be 0 but r is not d, such that a is dq plus r. The number d above is called the divisor of a, while a is called the dividend. Q is called the quotient and R is called the remainder. We use these notations to express the quotient and remainder. Q is A divided by D, that is the divisor. That is the quotient, D is the divisor. R is A mod D, Q is the floor of A over D, R is A minus Q. Let's see what this means. Division algorithm, mind you, we are taking in this case d to be a positive integer. In general, d could be a non-zero integer, in which case you have to change here this d to absolute value so that remainder is always, by the way, above 0, 0 or above. Okay, what does this mean? So take any two integers where the second one d is positive. For example, suppose I want to divide a equals 54. I want to divide it by 7. Okay, so a is the dividend and 7 is my divisor. Okay, if I divide 54 by 7, what happens? 7 times 7 is 49, so I better take something else, right? Say suppose I'm dividing 57 by 7. Then 7 times 8 is 56 and 1 is left over. In other words, 57 can be written as 7 times 8 plus 1. Okay, so I'm dividing by 7. So 8 is the quotient, 1 is the remainder. So the dividend is divisor times quotient plus remainder. That's all. Dividend is divisor times quotient plus remainder. How do you know this is the remainder? Well, remainder has to be less than the divisor. Remainder has to be 0 or more. All right. Here are notations. Remainder is denoted by A mod D. Okay. So Q is A divided by D. So this is called floor division. Okay. You might want to say floor division, and R is A modulo D. In Python, you say A floor division D or A modulo D. Okay, for remainder. All right, what does this mean? Look at here. Go back to our example. 57 divided by 7. Quotient is 8. Well, suppose you took the fraction 57 over 7. Okay, we don't know this precise value. You know that it's going to be 8 point something, right? In other words, the floor division of 57 over, so the floor of 57 over 7 is going to be floor of 8 point something. Well, 8 point something floor is what? 8. And that's why it's called floor division. The quotient is called the floor division. So quotient is the floor of A divided by D. Remainder is A minus DQ. Of course, how did you get remainder here? 57 minus 56. That's the remainder. That's all we are saying here. So here is another example. 123, you want to divide it by 12. So 123 divided by 12. 12 times 10 is 120. So you know that that's the closest you are going to get with 12. So remainder here is 3. Now quotient here is 10, right? And 123 is divided by 12. So 123 is the dividend, 12 is the divisor, and this is the case, you see. Another way, how do I find out quotient is 10? Take 123, divide it by your divisor. You see, divisor is 12. I'm going to get 10 point something something. Well, if I take the floor of 123 divided by 12, well, I'm going to get floor of 10 point something something something. Sorry. Well, floor of 10 point something is simply 10. That is my quotient. Now I take 12 times 10, that's 120. Whatever is left over is my remainder. Okay. Now notice this is a positive number being divided by 12. How about the next example, negative 123. If I want to, now you have to be careful, divided by 12. Well, ideally I would like to say, hey, 12 times negative 10 is 120. Let's try this. 12 times, I'm just copying the previous situation. Negative 10 is negative 120. So maybe the remainder is negative 3. That's not acceptable because division algorithm wants remainder to be 0 or more. So this is not correct. So what do? We have to go one more. 12 times negative 11 is negative 132. Now let's see. Negative 132 is farther down from negative 123. How much further now? 9. You see the difference between these two? You get negative 123. So 9 is greater equals 0 and less than 12. You see, so remainder has to be 0 or more. That's an important requirement of the division algorithm. So when dividing a negative number, don't forget you have to go a little farther to the left. Okay, don't just go negative of 10, go a little farther to the left so that you get a non-negative remainder. Okay, so here negative 123 is the dividend, 12 is the divisor, quotient is negative 11. And what is the remainder? 9. All right. So be very mindful. Negative number when you're dividing by a divisor, you will have to go a little more farther to the left so as to get a remainder which is non-negative. All right. So, which brings us to modular arithmetic. Let's look at modular arithmetic in our next video.